I may not agree with every move that the Detroit Lions make, but I can say one thing, man, that they will turn over every rock to find players to help this team. When guys go down, they will find guys from everywhere. And Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes said just as much, that they will do whatever it takes to find guys who fit this team and wind up helping us as we make our push to our first Super Bowl ever. You can see from the banner below, according to Aaron Wilson and his Twitter account, the Detroit Lions are signing former Seahawks cornerback Tre Flowers. No, not that Tre Flowers, not the defensive end. That is no longer in the NFL, but the Tre Flowers, the cornerback, says to practice squad per league source. He has 287 tackles, 4 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries. Now, a lot of people thought that we could make a move for Seattle Seahawk cornerback Tariq Woolen. There is some disgruntled rumors coming out of there that it may be time for them to move on from Tyreek. A lot of y'all think that he is terrible, but the consensus seems like you guys would want him on this team. Now, I am against trading for a cornerback. That's all we've done over. It seems like that's all from the investments that we've made in the draft and trading for Carlton Davis III. I don't want to trade for a cornerback. I would much rather trade for a defensive end. So the Detroit Lions finding not Tyreek, but Tre Flowers. No, not that Tre Flowers, under a rock. I don't think he's played so far this year, but let's take a look at his NFL stats. Actually been in the league for a minute, just turned 30 back in June, was a 5th round pick by the Seattle Seahawks back in 2018. As you can see from here, he has no stats this year, has not played at all. Now, one thing interesting thing about this is the first quarter of the season is already over. We finished that right around the halfway point, is right at the NFL trade deadline. So those injuries are starting to hit us, and we have lost for at least a week our 2 starting corners, Terrion being down for a week or 2, while DJ Reed could land on IR. So this guy drafted, spent his rookie season with the Seattle Seahawks. I remember his name very vividly because I would always say, kind of confuse him with the defensive end Tre Flowers. Right around this time, Tre Flowers came to the Detroit Lions. So I would confuse the two whenever they said Tre Flowers. Spent the 4 years with the Seattle Seahawks, then spent some time with Cincinnati and Seattle back in 2021. Then he stayed with Cincinnati, went to the Falcons, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then last year played with the Indianapolis Colts. So you can see here, his last full season was in 2023, which it wasn't too long ago. It just looks like it because he spent time 5 games between 2 different teams. You can see that he had his last action 1 game with the Indianapolis Colts. At least he made a tackle, and it was solo. So how about that? How about that? Coming off of how many interceptions does this guy have? 4 in his career. 4 total interceptions, and of course the 5 forced fumbles and 5 fumble recoveries. So, I mean, again, the Detroit Lions, this is what they do. They find guys from everywhere. I mean, I was making light of it about Bruce Irvin. Dude was 36 years old. We went and literally pulled the guy off the couch. Tyson Alu, the same thing with him. I think the Bruce Irvin thing was more kind of intriguing because of what he once was. Bruce Irvin back in the day, right? And now we're bringing in Tre Flowers, who's 30 years old. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. I think Tre is going to be elevated. I think he's going to come in. He's going to be elevated for game day. That's what I feel, because we don't have it. It's kind of crazy, man, because for all the resources that Brad Holmes has put in, and this is not a knock on Brad. I know it sounds like that, but it's not. For all the resources that he put into the cornerback room, the secondary period, I mean, they just keep getting knocked down. From Ife Melifonwu to we sign, who else? Ife Melifonwu, Emmanuel Mosley, right? We just keep getting hit just over. Even the stuff that happened to Cam Sutton, just that type of things, man. It seems like we always get hit in the secondary. I don't know why, but it seems like that. And then last year, everybody at every position got hit around the board. I mean, linebacker, we just was hit everywhere. So Tre Flowers has not seen any action this year so far. But again, the Detroit Lions find ways. They just find people to bring in. And you ever notice that a lot of times these guys are off the couch. They would rather pull a guy off the couch than from somebody else's team. Now, remember, if you pull a guy from the practice squad of a team, then he has to be elevated to the 53-man roster. So, I don't know, man. I think that's the end of the trade talks for a guy. I mean, I know that Tre Flowers has not been that big of a deal probably since his time in Seattle, to be honest with you. But at the same time, he fits what the Detroit Lions are trying to do, obviously, because that's what they rather get a guy off the couch, sign him to the practice squad, elevate him, than to go get a practice squad guy and sign him to the 53. So again, we'll see. We'll see. Terrion probably won't be able to go. So DJ Reed, it's a wrap for 3 to 4 weeks. No IR yet, but I'm very intrigued, man, to know who is going to be opposite, because you and I both know that Khalil Dorsey is not a guy we want to see in coverage. Now, we are facing two of the best wide receiver, like probably, I would say the best. Now that Tyreek is injured, I would say the best 1-2 punch as far as wide receiver, even better than Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams right now because of the chemistry in T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. But can the Cincinnati Bengals actually get them the ball, right? And with the way we've been sacking the quarterbacks, it's funny because I actually had a sack video that was going to come out instead of this one. That one will drop tomorrow morning, so I got to change the thumbnail and everything now, so be ready for that one. But it's very intriguing to know who's going to be. Is it going to be Dorsey? Because that room is pretty thin back there. It really is, man. So we'll see what happens. But one thing I can say, like I said, about the Detroit Lions is they will find places and find people off the couch, man. They find these people. So one thing I can say, man, is that Brad is always trying to make this team better. That is 100%. I give him a lot of flack. And you know why. You know why. But I mean, outside of that, everything else has been a-weezy, to be honest with you. So we'll see what he does. I totally expect, would he start? I don't know, because honestly, who is? Put in the comments below. Who's going to start? It's going to be a Meek and Dorsey. But I fully expect Tre Flowers to be active for the game. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you like this move? Is there someone else you wanted to see? Somebody did bring up that Asante Samuel Jr. is dealing with quite a few injuries. A lot of y'all believe that Stephon Gilmore could be a guy, but I'm telling you, man, it says a lot when the Lions would get a guy off the couch, then sign like an available free agent that it was active. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stephon Gilmore was pretty active last year, but Tre was active as well, but not as active. I think because he was on Gilmore was on the Vikings. Like when we played them, he was on the Vikings. So, but we rather go get a guy off the couch, man. That's how we roll. Anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Considering making a purchase as well, we're going into October for the cancer awareness. 20% of the proceeds will go to cancercares.org, and we are going to push that really through the month of October. Mugs will become available probably tomorrow or maybe later tonight. All right. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. See, I'm not all anti-Brad Holmes. I just want that pass rusher, man. That's all I want.